Hi, my name is Derek Benavides, branch owner for TWFG Benavides Insurance. Welcome to Insurance 101. Let's discuss liability limits, in particular state of Texas required limits versus higher limits of liability. Now, the state of Texas requires your liability insurance to have at least 30, 60, 25. Now, what does this mean? Well, this is how it would read in a sentence. If you're involved in an accident, your insurance company will have up to $30,000 to settle any one person's bodily injury, not to exceed $60,000 for all the people involved in the accident for their injuries, and not to exceed $25,000 in property damage for all property damage. Now, this doesn't sound like a lot because it's not. $30,000 though for one person, that's kind of hard to reach. Even though the typical ambulance ride here in Texas is about $1,000. But if for $60,000 maximum for all people involved, can you imagine if you hit a vehicle with 4 people? Now that 4 people, that's $15,000 each. That is very easy to reach. Or even imagine this, if you hit a full city bus. Now, the $25,000 on property damage, we take that into consideration for a second. $25,000, that's not a lot of money to settle a property damage claim, especially when you consider a brand new BMW, brand new Cadillac, even a brand new Suburban. All those vehicles are in excess of $50,000. So if you were to total out one of those vehicles at $25,000, it's only going to cover about half of it. Now, what happens in a situation where the injury or the property damage exceed your liability limits? What happens then? Well, let's look at an example. Say you cause an accident that had $40,000 in damage. Well, the insurance company, your insurance company, is going to pay the maximum, your $25,000 in the property damage. Well, what does that remain? That leaves $15,000. Guess who has to pay that? That's you. Now, what happens if you don't have the money? Because typically, not a lot of us are walking around with $15,000 in our pocket to where we can write a check right then and there. Well, what happens is you'll get sued. And you could probably go to court if you wanted to and try and fight it, but if you owe the money, you're going to owe the money. Well, what's going to happen then is if you lose a lawsuit, which you probably would, you're going to wind up having to pay this back over payments. And during the meantime, you wind up risking losing your license or getting it revoked or suspended. Now, so how do we avoid this? Well, our agency, we almost never recommend what the state of Texas requires you to have. We almost always recommend getting at least a policy that has 100, 300, 100, or 250, 500, 250. The difference between having a policy with 30, 60, 25 versus one of these policies sometimes is as little as $20 a month. And that can make a huge difference. Using even an example like this, if you had one of these policies, it would easily pay the claim and none of it would come back to you. So consider that the next time that you're looking at insurance rates. Questions or comments? Call, email, text, or find us on social media under TWFG Benavides Insurance and find out why it's betterwithbenavides.com.